Welcome to Codex Tactics, where we explain 40K detachments in under 10 minutes. This is your 10-minute battle brief for Index Deathwatch, Black Spirit Task Force. The detachment playstyle is up and down gun line with some melee, depending on the list construction. Mission tactics, these are basically going to be kill teams. They can select lethal, sustain one, or precision on crits. These units can have anti-infantry 2-up and anti-monster 5-up on ranged weapons with a strat. They can increase ranged weapons by 6 inches and grant additional AP with a strat. They can have assault and ignores cover on ranged weapons with a strat. And they have ability to return to strategic reserves. They'll gain deep strike when they do so at the end of the opponent's movement phase. This is also a strat. So the army rule is Oath of Moment. Most people are familiar with this. If your faction is Adept Astartes, at the start of your command phase, select one unit from your opponent's army. Until the start of your next command phase, that enemy unit is your Oath of Moment target. Each time a model with this ability makes a ranged attack or melee attack that targets your Oath of Moment target, you can reroll a hit roll. The Detachment Rule is at the start of the command phase, they'll select a mission tactic. Until the start of the next command phase, that mission tactic is active and its effects apply to all units in the army with this ability. Each mission tactic can only be selected once per battle. This applies only to units with the mission tactics ability, i.e. kill teams, Deathwatch Terminator Squad, Deathwatch characters, and Chorus Black Stars, which you'll never see. So the first is Furrier Tactics. This is going to be Sustained 1. Malleus Tactics, this is going to be lethal hits. And Brigadis Tactics, this will be crits or precision. Enhancements. The Thief of Secrets improves strength, damage, and AP by 1. If any models are destroyed by the bearer, it'll improve these characteristics by 2 instead. The Tomb of Ectoclades. You'll select a second Oath of Moment target once per battle with this ability. And the Beacon Angelus. The bearer gains deep strike ability, and you can target the unit with a rapid ingress strat for 0 CP. Finally, the Osseous Key. This goes on a Watchmaster or Tech Marine. In the opponent's shooting phase, they can select an enemy unit within 12 inches. It takes a leadership test. If it's passed, -1 to hit. If it's failed, they cannot shoot this phase. You will never see this. Strats and abilities. 1 CP, typical armor contempt. 1 CP, this can select 2 kill teams, and they can change a mission tactic or select a new one. For 1 CP, 1 kill team's ranged weapons gain anti-infantry 2-up and anti-monster 5-up. For 1 CP, 1 kill team increases ranged weapons by 1 AP and 6 inches. 1 CP, 1 kill team's ranged weapons gain assault and ignores cover. And 1 CP, 2 kill teams until the end of the fight phase. Remove those kill teams and place them into strategic reserves, and they gain the deep strike ability. Key synergizing units. Deathwatch veterans. These are 2 wound Marine equivalents. They natively reroll 1s to hit. They're going to reroll all hit rolls against Xenos. They can have storm shields for a 4-up invuln. These are 10-man squads. The typical loadout is going to be 12 strength 10 AP2 3 damage devastating wound thunderhammer attacks. They can have 2 frag cannons, strength 7 AP1 2 damage. These are D3 shots with rapid fire D3 and blast. And then they're going to have 2 Infernus heavy bolters. These are basically a heavy bolter or a heavy flamer profile. And then you'll typically see 2 power weapons. These will be either 2 power weapons or Xenophase Blade, which is a power weapon with devastating wounds, or Black Shield Blades, which are twin linked. The entire unit can have lethals or sustained 1. And then with strats, they can do extra AP, or they can be assault and ignores cover, or they can be anti-infantry 2-up or anti-monster 5-up. Deathwatch Terminator Squad. They reroll charges natively and cause Battle Shock. Battle Shock will be at -1 if they're a Xenos unit. And this is when they end the charge move within engagement range. So they move 5 T5, 3 wounds, 2 up save, 4 up embalm. They can have up to 3 Cyclone missile launchers, which is usually what you'll see. And the profile to worry about with that is 36 inches, 2 attack, strength 9, AP2, D6 damage. They're typically going to be equipped with Power Fists and Stone Bolters as well. So it'll be 15 Power Fist attacks between 5 Terminators at strength 8, AP2, 2 damage. Again, this entire unit can have lethals or sustained 1. And then with strats, they can have additional AP. They can have assault or ignores cover. And they can have anti-infantry 2 up or anti-monster 5 up. The Indomitor kill team. This is a Gravis equivalent. They move 5, T6, 3 wounds, 3 up save. When targeting the closest enemy unit or making a melee attack when finishing a charge move, they'll be +2 strength. So your typical loadout here, it's going to be 2 heavy intercessors with heavy bolters. That'll be a total of 6 attacks of strength 7, AP 2, 3 damage with assault, heavy, sustained 1, and lethals. You'll have 2 heavy intercessors with heavy bolt rifles. That'll be 4 attacks of strength 7, AP 2, 2 damage with assault, heavy, and lethals. You have 2 melter rifles, a total of 2 attacks, strength 11, AP 4, D6 damage. These will be heavy and melted 2. There will be a multi-melta, 2 attacks, strength 11, AP 4, D6 damage, heavy, melted 2. You're going to have 3 aggressors, either with Flamestorm gauntlets. These will be 3d6 plus 3 torrent attacks, strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage, twin linked, ignores cover. Or you'll have Boltstorm gauntlets, 9 attacks, strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage with Fragstorm. That's another 3d6, strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage with blast. Plus 9 Power Fist attacks coming in at strength 10, AP 2, 2 damage on the charge. All other close combat weapons on this unit will be strength 6 on the charge. Basically be 21 attacks at strength 6 between the rest of the units. And again, the entire unit can have lethals, sustain 1, extra AP with a strat, assault and ignores cover with a strat, anti-infantry 2 up or anti-monster 5 up with a strat. The Talonstrike kill team. This is going to be a mixture of jump marine equivalents. They'll move 12 T4, 2 wounds, 3 up save. Or Gravis jump equivalents. They'll move 10 T6, 3 wounds, 3 up save. When set up on the battlefield until the end of the turn, improve the AP by 1, and melee weapons have lance. So a typical loadout here, 3 plasma pistols. This will be a total of max overcharged, 3 attacks, strength 8, AP 4, 2 damage. 5 plasma exterminators. This will be a total of max overcharged, strength 10, 10 attacks, strength 8, AP 4, 3 damage, assault, twin linked, pistol, hazardous, or 5 assault bolters. This will be a total of 15 attacks at strength 5, AP2, 2 damage with assault, sustained, and twin linked pistol. There will be 2 heavy bolt pistols, 2 attacks between these, strength 4, AP2, 1 damage. The sergeant will typically have a power fist, 3 attacks, strength 8, AP3, 2 damage with lance if it's on the charge when it was set up on the battlefield. You'll have 4 chain swords. This will be a total of 16 attacks at strength 4, AP2, 1 damage with lance if it was on the turn it was set up on the battlefield. And again, the entire unit can have lethals or sustain 1. They can have with a strat extra 1 AP. They can have with a strat assault ignores cover, or with a strat anti-infantry 2 up, anti-monster 5 up. So one of the things you'll see Deathwatch players doing with this unit when they take their hazardous tests, they'll take them on the marine equivalents. They'll take the wounds on the marine equivalents versus losing a Gravis equivalent for these hazardous tests. Key leader units. The Watchmaster. This model's unit can fall back, advance, shoot, and charge, and reduce the cost of CP by 1. You'll see him leading Deathwatch veterans typically. If equipped with the Thief of Secrets, this makes the Vigil Spear 6 attacks, strength 7, AP 3, D3 plus 1 damage. If it kills a model, it's going to become strength 8, AP 4, D3 plus 2 damage. Another leader unit you'll often see leading the Deathwatch veterans is the Justiciar. Grants fights first, And then if the Thief of Secrets is on this model, the Executioner Relic Blade becomes 5 attacks, Strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage. And if he kills a model, it's going to be Strength 9, AP 4, 4 damage. Another unit you'll see often is captains of all sorts in these units. They're mostly here for strat CP reduction. So some of the Deathwatch strats affect 2 kill teams. So typically it's a 1 command point strat, and they're going to reduce the CP by 1, and they're going to affect 2 units with that. So you can effectively hit most of the units in your army with strats without ever having to pay a command point, or maybe just one. So a couple other units. The Spectre's Kill Team. This is a 10-man unit that has Infiltrate and Scout 6 inches. These are the Phobos Marine equivalent unit. This unit does go back into Strat Reserves for free. Probably not going to see this too much. It's a little expensive for what it does, and it's a 10-man unit. Kind of the same issue as the Fortis Kill Team. This is a 10-man unit. It's an intercessor-based kill team with 2 Desolation Marines, which are kind of nice with the indirect fire. And you can have up to 4 Hellblasters or Infernus Marines in this. Again, they make you take a 10-man unit, so you're probably not going to see it too often. Something to be aware of. It's not horrible. If the points come down, you might see it more. Storm Speeders, these variants, you might see a lot in these. Typically, you'll probably see the +1 to wound against monsters and vehicles. There's the other one that can grant additional AP to non-monster and vehicle units, but the Storm Speeders can help with a couple things, especially this detachment will struggle against large objects. So the +1 to wound against monster and vehicles, especially to a non-oath target, be really helpful. So the wind path against Black Spear. In deployment, this army will often start with very few units on the board. If it goes second, it's going to likely pull even more units off the table, and then they're going to drop them in turn 1. So cheap screens. This will aid against the Terminator units, the veterans, and the Indomitor kill teams. Deep strike denial mechanics are king if you've got them. If you have good Overwatch, use it. And make sure you're hitting the units that are coming out of reserves with those. Those are typically going to be the ones you're going to want to do some damage to. Use terrain to prevent these deep strikes and avoid these shooting lanes. Transports can help mitigate drop-in attacks. You'll likely lose a transport, but you may have the unit inside survive if they don't hit a 9-inch charge. Execution. These are Marine equivalent bodies. They're going to be between T4 and T6 breakpoints. But don't underestimate the damage that can come out of these kill teams. If you have the ability to play the deep strike chicken game, hold back until you have the best chance to make an impact, as the Deathwatch will typically have few units to hold primary and perform actions. Focus on denial early without sacrificing crucial damage dealers. Abilities to increase strat costs will be helpful. And if you have the ability in the same regard to remove Watchmasters and Captains, this will aid in the resource CP management for the Deathwatch player. Remember these, and you should do well. Good luck.